Okay, hello and welcome back. Wait, do I really have to pick this again? That's so crazy. So the go back button is my recording button. I just realized that. I didn't know what the go back button was this whole time. Anyway, yeah. Welcome back to Our Life Beginning and Always. I just realized that if I want to go back, I just push the button I push to start recording. Boy, that makes sense, doesn't it? August ended, September began. It was time to go back to school. Lizzie groaned and complained the entire first week. She hated going to classes. Still, there were interesting things to do that couldn't be done anywhere else. You weren't sure how Cove felt about it. He was enrolled that year. That was like a sign Cove would be staying in Sunset Bird for a while. Yep, Cove is here to stay, man. At school, he was alright, but kept his distance from the other kids, from what you saw anyway. Whenever he could, Cove stuck to you like glue. He didn't even mind as much what you did to pass the time as long as it was together. So I guess this is kind of, I could have did this in the last video because it's kind of the summation of the last one, but anyway, it doesn't really matter. That year, the divorce of Cove's parents was finalized. You overheard your parents talking about it, saying Cove's dad got full custody. So this is so weird to me. I want to find out what happens here, because you're gonna learn more about this. But I really hope we get a chance at some point to find out what happens here, because it just doesn't make sense to me. I don't know. At first you worried that meant bad news. It had made Mr. Holden cry, apparently. Then you found out it meant Cove would keep living with his dad. He would only stay with his mom a few weeks of the year. Cove cried too, for different reasons, you thought. It seemed like Cove and his dad might move again, but Mr. Holden decided to stay after all. Mom asked him about it once. He said he didn't want to uproot Cove's life a second time. Mr. Holden tried to get Cove to like Sunset Bird more. He kept encouraging his son to go out and see the place. Sometimes Mr. Holden volunteered you to spend time with Cove. Give me $20, give me $20. He seemed very confident that was an effective strategy. Cove never talked to anyone about what happened with his parents and withdrew whenever it was brought up. Yeah, maybe someday we'll get this. It was hard for him, yet nobody knew how to help. Eventually, Cove stopped crying on his own. You couldn't understand what had changed. Still, you worried about him. You could tell he wasn't completely happy. See, he was gonna get over it, right? That's what happened. It was the whole thing, right? They said he would eventually get over it and feel better. Maybe one day, you could say that out loud what he felt inside. After that, it felt like some things had gone back to normal, except what was normal didn't stay the same. Years passed, and suddenly you were in middle school. You weren't a kid anymore. You were 13 years old. That officially made you a teen, even if your sister didn't agree. Yeah, it does. When you're 13, you're a teen. The toys and crayons that used to litter every free space in your room had been packed away somewhere, replaced by new hobbies. There were other changes, too. Cove's cast got taken off. It was weird to see him without it initially. So, like, I think this is like if you changed your, if you change your identity or anything else major about your personality, your personality, it would be in here. But underneath the pink plaster ended up being a long, thin scar that snaked across his forearm. Cove's chest puffed out in pride when someone drew attention to it. He also went through a major growth spurt. He was the tallest student in his class for 2 years in a row. Cove will probably hold that spot again next time. Yeah. He's a string bean. He's a tall boy. In class, people knew him for more than just being tall. He also stood out because of how well he did in gym and other athletic situations. Here we go. We got Athletic Cove. Cove gonna be the sports star. We're gonna have fun with Athletic Cove. My friend had the Studious Cove, so he can be either really athletic or he can be really really like good at like school, but not both. Over the years, he began opening up more too. You saw him talking amicably with other kids and neighbors from time to time, And the only kid that came to visit the neighborhood when you were little, Shiloh, well, he was gone. Yeah, I don't feel too bad about that. He and his mom moved back south because of her work, but just 1 year after Cove came to Sunset Bird, he and his mom went on to another game, Marigold Fields. Marigold Fields. It had been really upsetting when he left. Lizzie was inconsolable for weeks, but nobody talked about Shiloh anymore. It was a long time ago. So I don't understand Lizzie's connection to him. he was just kind of her hanger-on. Did she actually like him that much? You never get that sense that Lizzie likes Shiloh. He's just kind of her minion, if I'm honest. You learn some heartbreaking things, become less sad, the farther away they were, even if they'd never gotten any better. That was sad in its own way. Things at home were different, too. You still lived in the same house and all that, but it wasn't how it was before. Mom dyed her hair purple, wanting something new, and liked it so much she kept dyeing it. Oh, geez, I forgot about that. Yeah, she's Ma now, not Mommy, too. You remember calling her Mommy as a kid, but something like that seemed awkward nowadays. You were much too old for the word. Yeah, so she's Ma now, which I think is weird. I like Mom and Mommy, but I understand why you would change that as you get older. It's whatever. And she dyes her hair purple now. Lizzie felt too mature for her nickname, too, so she insisted on everyone calling her Elizabeth. So you did. So she's Elizabeth Foster now, congratulations. Your mom soon gave her permission to go places other than the playground and shopping street, which she took advantage of. You rarely saw her around the old neighborhood. I mean, she's pretty much 16 in this, right? Because Elizabeth is gonna be, yeah. She's 3 years older than us. She's 11 when we're 8, so she's gonna be 16 here. So that's, In fact, she hardly spent time with you the way she did before. Elizabeth instead associated more and more with girls from school for her own age. Yeah, so we've been betrayed by Elizabeth. Elizabeth isn't really cool anymore. She's not someone we really look up to anymore. She's just kind of our sister. Yeah, that's how it be. Maybe the difference between 13 and 15 was greater than the difference between 8 and 10. Oh, she was 8 and 10. I thought she was 11. Oh, so she's only 2 years, but, well, whatever. You started befriending new people yourself, like Derek Suarez. He didn't live in the neighborhood or go to the same school. Oh, Derek Suarez and his brood of brothers. Oh my god. What happened was his and Co's dad struck up a business partnership a few months ago. Since then, Derek would pop up in the area now and then. It seemed Mr. Suarez was happy to let Derek tag along to his work if Derek had time for it. Without a doubt, everyone and everything around you had changed, in small and big ways. You had too. As time went by, though, it was easy to settle into this new normal. So yeah, this is where they would have went through all the changes you went through, but... And before you knew it, school was over and summer vacation had come again. So I didn't change too much about Marina for this step. But here's our new room! Let's take a look. We got a bunch of books and maps over here. This seems about right. We got a cloak, a scuba mask. We got ocean stuff. Another scuba mask. We got no stuffed animals, but yeah, we have a more proper bed now. We don't do the little box bed in the window. I don't know what this is. I don't know what HC Wisconsin 023G is. But yeah, this is all kinds of Marina Foster. This speaks to me. It was the first day of summer vacation. The sun was hot as ever, but you were inside and away from its harsh rays. To be more specific, you were snuggled up in bed, celebrating your time off and sleeping in, wide awake about to head out to enjoy your time off. You made sure to slather on a generous amount of sunscreen so you didn't get burned. We're already tan, man. I don't think Marina has to worry about it. She tans up good. She tans up good, man. See, that's what I was going for with that skin tone, by the way. I wasn't going for, like, a different ethnicity. I originally was thinking it was, like, a tan. Like, she was just tan from being outside all the time. But I think that's supposed to be implying she's a different ethnicity. So it's whatever. I'm not changing it. You can't change it now. You were looking in the mirror, studying the clothes you'd thrown on when your bedroom door opened without warning. In the reflection, you saw Elizabeth raise an eyebrow. Have you been staring at yourself this whole morning? Here's Elizabeth and her shell necklace and her weird dress. Elizabeth! I like her in this version, though, more than... Good morning, Elizabeth. We'd still be nice to our sister. We still like Elizabeth. She's just kind of too cool for us now, so whatever, man. She ignored that, crossing her arms over her chest with a disgruntled expression. Clearly, she hadn't come in just to see you. Mom told me that you're friends at the door. Mom told me to tell you that you're friends at the door. He brought some happy summer gift from Mr. Holden. Mom wants you to take it from him. Say thanks or whatever.
Come on.
So come down already. Be right there. Okay, fine. Really? That's great. I'm coming. I'll be there when I'm there. Really? That's great. I'm coming. Elizabeth had said nothing else and left, having done what was instructed of her. She's a brat in this stage. If she wasn't already a brat when she was a kid, she's in full rebellious teenage brat mode. Now alone, you focus on the mirror once again. You get to choose yourself and how you are. You get to choose how you are, It's gonna be how we are. Yeah, this is how you do it. So, I had thoughts about Marina Foster. So, girls don't grow quickly as boys, so I think we're gonna be average height. There was a lot of open real estate in the frame. You're pretty short. You had trouble getting your reflection to appear in the mounted mirror frame. You're very short. Your reflection went over the whole length of the mirror. You're pretty tall. Your reflection didn't even hardly fit in the frame. You're very tall. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I kind of thought she'd be kind of tall, but I'm thinking at 13, do girls really get that tall? I mean, they can, I guess. But most girls are gonna be... I mean, maybe this is like saying you're tall for a girl, I guess. So, we could be pretty tall. Like, she was gonna... This is my thoughts about Marina Foster. In my mind's eye, how I picture Marina Foster. Cove tended to be the only person around who was even taller, at least among teens her own age. I'm just gonna do this in case I screw this up. I don't know about that. I don't want to be taller than everybody my own age. Yeah, okay, I can do this. Yeah, let's be average height. Cove was really tall. Derek was kind of short, and you were pretty much the exact height that someone would expect for a 13-year-old. Do I like people? Huh. Yeah, Derek is kind of short. We wanted to be taller than Derek. I think we're going to go with this, yeah. You liked your height? You weren't sure how to feel about it. You were kind of... Yeah, you liked your height. It suited you well in your mind. Marina is going to be mentally balanced. She's had a good childhood. She's had good friends. She's... Yeah. Then you put on the finishing touches of your outfit while ruminating on the situation. Careless as they'd been, Elizabeth's words piqued your curiosity. You planned on going over to see what Cove was up to, so this worked in your favor. Your reflection grinned back at you, or looking forward to seeing him. You left your room, going down the stairs 2 steps at a time. And welcome to... Oh, welcome to this. Second chance. So this is kind of weird. It's like talking about, like, you know, your relationship with Cove, but we're not doing that, so, you know. You spotted Mom first, reclining on the couch. She held a magazine in her hands while she was perusing through. So let's have a look here. I don't know. I will do a personal investigation here to see how this has changed, but they still got the furniture laid out the same way. Everything seems pretty much the same. I don't remember if they had this plant here before. I feel like they've got some lily of the valley going on. Morning, Mom. She looked up at your greeting, a smile instantly appearing on her face.
Thanks.
Oh, that's right. She puts her hair up in this phase. Pam has her hair up now. That's right. And she wears this weird, like, shirt that looks like it's denim. I forgot that this is Pam in stage 2. Good morning, Marina. Thank you for coming down. Ma's at the door with Cove. He can't stay over today, unfortunately. Why don't you go and thank him before he leaves? You nodded and made your way to the front of the house. Just as she said, Ma was there making a conversation. So this is the house outside. This is finally the conclusion. The house that we're seeing when we do the thing, when we're in the outside part, is Cove's house. It's not ours. This is the house that you're seeing all the time. We're not looking back at our house. We're looking across the street at the neighbor's house. Case closed. Bad. Goodbye. You nodded and made your way to the front of the house just as she said it. Ma was there making conversation. She must have heard you because she looked over her shoulder.
Oh?
Look who finally made it. Morning, sleepyhead. Ma reached forward and you knew she was about to pat you on the head. She was taller than average, so you were a little in her eyes despite being its typical size for your own age. Oh, I see. So I'm still shorter than my mom's because, yeah, I think the other mom is even taller than Nolani. You let her do it. You happily let her do it. You tilted your body aside to dodge. You pushed back her hand and laughed. You pushed back her hand and... Yeah, we love our moms. That type of small affection exchange was nice. She placed the whole of her hand on top of your head for a second before lifting back up. Ah, you're the last one down today, you know that? Life isn't a race. Morning. I was gonna stay in longer, so you're welcome. Sorry about the wait. Uh-huh. What do we get? How do we talk to our moms? Life isn't a race. No, life is totally a race, man. Marina Foster is... I was gonna stay in longer, so you're welcome. Do we want to be a brat, too? Ooh, she wouldn't say sorry. And she's not this greedy. Are we just going with just morning? I was gonna stay in longer, so you're welcome. Yes, thank you for gracing us all with your presence this fine day. With a small laugh, Ma stepped aside. We're funny. She's funny. Cove was just as you remembered, exactly how you came to know him to be. Aloha, Cove. He leaned uncomfortably to the side in your doorway as the longer strands of his hair drifted with the breeze. Too tall for the frickin' doorway. Here's Cove with his edible arrangement. His dark shirt and his beaded necklace, though. Interesting choices, Cove. His features were pinched in embarrassment as he shifted from one foot to another. He was holding what must have been the much-talked-about gift. At first glance, you figured it must be a bouquet of flowers, then you gave it a real look. No, instead it was carefully cut fruit. Oh, them edible arrangements. This whole chapter is about that. This whole thing. It made a lot of sense that it was actually from Cove's dad. You had to suppress a laugh at this showing. You couldn't imagine many folks buying this sort of thing for their own personal enjoyment. That kind of arrangement was built for the presentation, likely to impress whoever was inevitably going to receive it. It seemed no matter how long he lived here, Mr. Holden would keep going out of his way to be neighborly, and Cove would always be roped into participating. Cove smiled at the sight of you. The sting of this goofy errand was clearly embarrassing. The sting of this goofy errand he was on, clearly embarrassed to be on. Jeez, I can't read. Hey, Marina. You smiled back. It was second nature to you. Cove had always been such a close friend, ever since the two of you were kids. Yeah, he's our frickin' best buddy, man. Hey, it's nice to see you. Yeah, you too. Your grin widened even more. Every time you came, your mood was brightened. It was already shaping up to be another long summer with plenty of time for the two of you to have fun together. His awkwardness over the task started to creep back in, so Cove nudged the gift closer to you. He was ready to be relieved of it. And with that, the gift was accepted. Hope you and your family like it. It's a pretty good gift. I think so, anyway. He smiled earnestly. So I would guess at this point, Cove's voice is already starting to change. That's my headcanon here. He's not like awkward little boy with scratchy voice anymore. He's Cove. He's a man. He's got them pecs. Dad spent a lot of time picking out the best size and design. There were so many options to choose from. Thank you. Thanks. You are too cute sometimes. We can be flirty, but nah. Thanks. To your dad for buying it, and to you for bringing it over. It looks yummy. I'll tell him you said that. Mr. Holden's behavior was really different from any neighbor you'd ever had, though after 5 years you were used to his antics, and since you made up your mind on you'd made up your mind on what your opinion was. He was nice. He was sort of funny. He was pretty weird. You didn't like him. He was great. He was great and kind of handsome to boot. No, it'd be fun to play a character who was into frickin' Cove's dad, because like that's just kind of a thing kids do, right? Kind of get into their parents' dads and moms sometimes. But she's not like that. He was great. That's pretty weird, but no, he was great. There were some of the things people didn't like Mr. Holden. You didn't mind them at all and liked him quite a bit. Your thoughts were quickly interrupted by a shout. There you are! You shared a confused look with Cove. As one, you both stepped through the door and onto the neighborhood street. It didn't take long to locate the source of the noise. You spotted Derek just a few yards down the road. He ran up to you. You were happy at the sight of him. You were confused at the sight of him. You were displeased at the sight of him. Displeased. No, we're happy. It's another friend. It's our friend Derek. Derek was certainly a welcome guest in your neighborhood. It was a pleasant surprise whenever he showed up. Here he is! Derek Suarez! After stopping a couple steps away, Derek hunched over to catch his breath. Man, this boy in his number 87 jersey that he's always wearing. Then he looked up with a wide grin. And he's always happy. He's a cheerful little bean. I love this man's. I missed him. His moments are dreadful.
Hey.
Hey, guy and gal. I was just at your house, Cove, but no one was there. She'd figured you'd be at Marina's place. Did you ever spend time in your own home, or are you always just there? So yeah, this is a neighbor's house. We're looking from our front door at the neighbor's house. So I'm so happy to know this. Derek laughed at his own joke. He either didn't notice it or embarrassed Cove, or the embarrassment was what he actually was laughing at. See, he's not actually that short compared to Cove, at least with these pictures. Derek turned to you. He was going to say more when his eyes widened and he gasped. What's that? He followed his gaze unsure, then he realized what he meant. You were still holding Mr. Holden's gift. It's kind of like a bouquet of flowers, but made of fruit.
Nice.
Can I have some? Sure, we can share. I haven't even tried any yet. It's a gift for my family. I can't give it to you. Maybe you can have some later. I haven't even tried any yet. Derek puttered at your words, not hiding his disappointment. Then he nodded his head, as if to clear it. Anyway, that's right. I came here because I needed to say something big. He paused, possibly for effect. There's some kind of other kid here in Sunset Bird. Cove was as surprised as you were by the news. Such a reaction made sense. No one around your age had moved here since Cove did 5 years ago. Were they with their family? Maybe they were cutting through. Nuh-uh. This new kid was all by himself, just walking. Did you talk to him?
Nope.
No. Came to report the sighting right away. The kid had green hair, glasses, and was pretty small, and seemed really upset about something. I hope he didn't leave. Green hair and glasses. You blinked slowly. You looked over to your longtime neighbor. That sounds a lot like you, Cove, when you first got here anyway. It kind of does, doesn't it? That's weird. He sounded almost fond, a small smile playing on his lips. This kid is nothing like Cove. We're gonna find out soon enough. Derek snickered good-naturedly. I can see that really well, now that you say so. But what'd you say? Let's go find Cove's lookalike. We should all meet him. Sure, I'll do it. Sure, I want to see who this person is. Derek grinned, then he pointed down the street, the way he came. Last time I saw him, the mystery visitor was going this direction. Nothing else needed to be said. The three of you were off, with Derek leading the way. Derek brought you to the beach, and as a trio you made your way down the shore to the old playground. You walked the familiar path in comfortable silence. It's so cozy, though. Like, with the way they describe everything, and I meant to talk about this during the prologue, like, it's all so cozy with how they do it. Like, it just feels very natural that everything transitions and you have this life. And man, I'm getting hungry. I shouldn't have probably recorded so much of this at once. When you were almost there, you spotted the kid in question. His bright colors almost shone like a beacon beneath the rays of the sun. He scuffled around, kicking up sand as he paced. It was true, he had certainly seemed upset, but you didn't think he was sad, like he had originally pictured. Not with his erratic movements and scrunched-up expression, he came off angry. You were curious about him, and what was he so mad about? Derek must have felt the same as you. He waved wildly, calling out to the boy. Hey, guy, over here! The kid whipped around, an impressive skull carving deep onto his face. His eyes were tired, but a strong, hostile energy radiated from him. What's with the rainbow frickin' t-shirt, kid? And I love his frickin' ugly-ass bowl cut, too.
What?
What is it? What do you want? The sharp tone made Derek flinch. He shifted on his feet. What's your name? Jeremy. Was that it? No, I'm Derek. That's Marina and Cove. We were just walking around and saw you. We wanted to say hi. There aren't a lot of kids our age in the neighborhood. Yeah, this thing. I despise this thing. This thing is a piece of crap, man. Yeah, so, it's cool to see someone else here. Strangely, Jeremy grew furious by your response. If steam could erupt from a person's ear, it would have happened then. They did bring me somewhere stupid. Of course, I knew it. What?
My parents.
They're the ones who brought me. I didn't walk to this town. Can't you not figure that out on your own?
Right.
Right, my dad brings me to Sunset Bird too. When he has to come for work and all that stuff, it's not bad. That earned him a glare from Jeremy. Derek winced beneath it, glancing away. It was a struggle to remain friendly with this Jeremy guy, but... So, we're a group of perky pollies. This would be probably pretty hard if you were not a very social person. Like, can you imagine just like 3 random kids coming up to you, one of them as tall as this dude, and just being like, yeah, by the way, we want to be your friend. Isn't that cool? And Derek comes on super strong, man. But yeah, this guy is also a dick, so... Derek winks beneath it, glancing away. It was a struggle to remain friendly with this Jeremy guy. I mean, I wouldn't want to come here for a real vacation, probably, either.
That's an understatement. This doesn't count as a vacation. It's a waste of time. A chore. My parents' family is nearby, and we just had to come see them. Ha!
If they're your parents' family, doesn't that make them your family too?
I guess.
I hate this. That's a pretty good reason to come by. Did you want to go somewhere else?
No.
Jeremy crossed his arms with a huff. He turned away.
They should have gone by themselves, since they cared so much, and left me home. But I'm not allowed to be by myself. Makes no sense. They're the ones who don't know how to do anything, and I'm the kid?
You kept quiet? You shouldn't talk about your parents like that. Sorry, it must suck being forced to do something you don't want. You just said hello. We just said hello. You don't have to keep complaining at us. Calm down. You don't have to yell so much. Who peed in your cereal this morning? I'm thinking here. I'm thinking. Yeah. This is the kind of thing that the Marina Foster we know would say. Jeremy's lip curled, his face contorted from anger to horror.
That's disgusting.
Why would you think of something like that?
Sheesh.
Just an expression. He took a deep breath. He thought for one hopeful second that maybe he was calming himself down. He was not.
So what? You're putting it in people's heads. I don't want to have to think about it, and someone brainless might decide it's a good idea to actually do it. There are some real stupids out in the world, you know. You're all living proof of that.
Hey!
Hey!
We're not stupid. I'm smarter than you are. Shut up. Stop it. Yeah, Marina's not taking this shit.
How are you gonna prove that when you're just saying one moronic thing after another?
You turned to Cove, lowering your voice. The two of you aren't that similar after all. Jeremy must have had good hearing though, because he caught that private exchange and scoffed.
Stupid.
Of course we're not similar. My eyebrows aren't stupid.
Hey, this man's has the coolest eyebrows of anyone I've ever seen in my life. Screw you. Cove's cheeks flushed crimson at the insult. You couldn't be sure if it was out of embarrassment or anger, maybe both. Come on! What? No way, Cove's eyebrows are so cool. How can you say that when you've got a bowl cut? Don't listen to him, they're really unique and special. Well, they are kind of silly. Apologize to Cove right now, you can't treat people like that. How can you say that when you've got a bowl cut? Just saying!
Yep, it's embarrassing and awful, but my parents made me. I won't have it when I'm older. I don't know what he's gonna do with those things except maybe shave them off. He probably should. I bet he'd look less dumb with no eyebrows.
You just rolled your eyes, you crossed your arms over your chest, you shook your head, you patted Cove on the shoulder, you lunged toward Jeremy, you grinned at all this. This is our best buddy Cove, you little shit. With your fists balled, you made a quick step forward. But you only wanted to spook him. He was the one who started things. You were ready to end them. Oh, we gonna only try to scare him this time? I think we only wanted to spook him this time. He made it clear that words wouldn't work, leaving you to resort to action, even if it was just for show. Derek and Cove jumped in to stop you before you reached him. They had grabbed you by the arm. Still, Jeremy instinctively stumbled backwards. He practically fell over. Yeah, that's right. Screw you, Jeremy. Marina Foster ain't taking your crap. She gonna beat you up. You gonna beat up by a girl, man.
If that's all you can do about what I'm saying, it's just proving I'm right. You're brainless.
Jeremy continued to defensively fume and throw out insults. The reaction you got was definitely worth any consequences. Wow, what is wrong with you? Instead of taking offense, Jeremy only parroted Derek's word in a nasally voice.
Wow, what is wrong with you?
This This is dumb.
Jeremy stuck out his tongue and skulked away, throwing more sand everywhere as he went. You watched him go hunched over until he became a speck in your vision. Cove is not pleased. Silence reigned in his wake. The three of you tried to process what just happened.
I can't believe it. What a mean kid.
Derek wasn't kidding, and by the sound of those earlier complaints, the new boy, Jeremy, was going to be in the area for at least a little while this summer. But we're not actually going to see that much of him. He doesn't really play that much into our summer. He's in a couple of moments, but it's weird. Not as much as Shiloh, because we don't want to hang out with him, right? Derek sighed in dismay, plopping onto the ground. You followed, and Cove did too shortly after. There wasn't much else to do.
This sucks.
Was hoping we could meet someone fun, hang out maybe.
He shook his head. After a moment, he slowly turned to you with a hopeful expression.
But you know what would really improve the day?
What? He didn't respond. Instead, he used a hand to point right at the fruit arrangement that you were still holding. He'd completely forgotten about it during the mini-drama that unfolded. He'd gotten used to the wait. Glancing over to Cove, you noticed that he was eyeing the fruit. He must want some too. Why not? Let's eat it. Yeah, I mean, she ain't gonna dare. Derek perked up immediately at your words. He reached out for a skewer, hesitating slightly once he was inches away.
Are you sure?
He nodded with an eager grin. He plucked out a prime row of fruits. So they make it seem like Derek's a troublemaker too, but Derek is like the most goody two-shoes kid in the frickin' world, okay? Cove grabbed one for himself after him. Only you were without a skewer of your own. You took a pineapple skewer, you took a grape skewer, you took a strawberry... Yeah, I'm gonna read these slower. You took a pineapple skewer, you took a grape skewer, you took a strawberry skewer, you took a melon skewer. Pineapple. The pineapple was cut to look like a flower. It was the obvious first choice. Derek ate a pineapple skewer enthusiastically, finishing it off within moments.
This is amazing.
It's nice.
And this fruit kebab thing is fun.
Hey, you two remember The Land Before Time? The fruit thing makes me think of it. The dinosaurs all like the leaves that were shaped like stars.
Ah, yes, The Land Before Time. Truly one of my favorite movies when I was a child, and the absolute reason that my favorite dinosaur is a long neck. Don't care what kind, but if y'all have ever seen my Twitch or any of the other stuff I do, you know that I have a bunch of those Jurassic Park big dinosaurs. This year I should kind of want to take them all out somewhere. But I have one particular that's the first one I got is the big Brachiosaurus, and it was the first one they ever made. And her name is Sips, and that's Sips, and that's I mean, not. So The Land Before Time is traumatic, man. It makes me concerned. It made me cry a lot. Littlefoot's mom dies. Spoiler alert. Anyway, they had the stars, yeah. Tree stars.
Yeah.
Yeah, chomping leaves look so delicious when they did it. And there was that scene with the pretty trees, and all the dinosaurs came in and picked everything off them until it was nothing. That's us right now. Awesome.
I love that movie. You never seen it? Didn't like that one. That movie's for kids. Eating leaves looks good. Should I worry about you? Eating leaves looks good. Should I worry about you? Do you think things taste better when they're shaped like stars? I love that movie. I think so. I think we were gonna have... Like, she would have been into, like, frickin'... I was just saying that because I love that movie. Marina, she likes animals. Yeah, she likes adventure.
Me too.
The three of you continued like this for the next few minutes. Eventually the display was barren and it looked weird when devoid of fruit. Hey, we weren't supposed to eat all of it. It did make you feel better. Eating it had really made you feel better. Eating it all hadn't really... No, it did help make you feel better. Derek was right. It was so good you were already brightening up in the earlier drama. Hey, Marina?
Yeah?
The two of you met eyes casually. Were you seriously gonna hit that guy? No, I just knew he'd get all scared over it.
Phew.
That was pretty bad, Marina.
I mean...
I thought it was cool.
Ugh.
You're both crazy people.
Yeah, I would have done it, man. You knew when Derek said things like that, it wasn't serious. He liked you and Co.
Yeah.
Derek leaned back on his arms. He contemplated the sky with a content sigh.
So, are you both ready for summer break?
Yeah. No, I'm not sure. Are you? How's someone supposed to be ready for a break? Yeah.
Cool on you. Wish I could say the same. Feels like there's a lot to plan for. And what about you, Kof? Are you ready?
Yeah, he's got a lot on his plate. His little brother is off for the summer as well, and he has to take care of him. So, you know, that's kind of his thing. I think that depends. Before you could say anything else, the light atmosphere was shattered.
Hey!
Marina!
You glance over your shoulder to see your sister. She strode closer and closer, appearing none too pleased.
I've been looking all over for you. Ma said you and Cove ran off with the thing Mr. Holden brought for us.
She leered at you over. She leered over you with arms folded. So she's taller than us too.
So, where is it?
You're late. It's all gone.
What do you mean gone?
You moved over to the side to face her completely. She zeroed in on the bouquet in your hands, which is now populated exclusively with skewers dripping in juice and tiny flakes of leftover fruit pieces. Yeah, Marina Foster's not considerate. Her mouth dropped open and the tone of her voice rose.
What?
Seriously? Marina? What were you thinking? It was supposed to be for all of us at home.
She glanced at Cove, who sat beside you, and continued mockingly. Even if you did have it in with the delivery boy, this was up to Mr. Holden. Cove gave you a bent smile of support, which didn't help disprove her accusation. Sorry, Elizabeth. Get over it. Well, the morning's been kind of a disaster. We were hungry. It wasn't us. The seagull came down, ate it all while we were looking. I like that you can just straight up lie to your sister. This morning's been kind of a disaster. Elizabeth narrowed her eyes, not at all placated. Oh no, I think I hear that mean kid coming back. We better get out of here. Elizabeth blinked, confused, and looked around.
What?
I don't see anyone.
Derek didn't bother explaining. He just launched to his feet and ran off. Cove hopped up too, gladly taking the opportunity to exit the situation. He followed after Derek, sent a look at you from over his shoulder. You turned to watch Elizabeth. She stared back, brow raised. You ran. Like, we're not gonna stick around. We're going with our buddies. Without a word, you got to your feet and bolted down the beach. Unimpressed, Elizabeth rolled her eyes.
So immature.
She shook her head and walked towards the house, not bothering whatsoever to follow. Goblin energy, man! Goblin energy! Meanwhile, the three of you made it back to the shoreline. Derek pumped his fist, grinning in triumph.
We escaped, and we shall live to see another day.
Exactly, but we should keep moving. Yeah, for now at least. Victory. My moms are gonna be so mad when Elizabeth tells this story. Still worth it, though. You chuckled together, walking further down the beach side by side. You definitely wanted to stay outside a little while longer. You had gotten a bit of scolding from your moms for not saving any of Mr. Holden's gift for Elizabeth, but you didn't get any real punishment for it. Hey, more scolding, more talkings too. This is the Marina Foster we all know and love. Instead, while you were out with the boys, Elizabeth had returned home to share the news. The three of them went to get dessert on their own. Ha ha! It was declared even by your parents when everyone got back and the event was settled. Declared even by your parents when everyone got back and the event was settled. After that, Derek rejoined you in the living room. He elected to stay outside for extra time so that you could face the potential scolding from your family without him witnessing the embarrassment. Derek was a guy you could count on. The dust had settled from the prior events, and your moms went back to the room, so Derek was just taking it easy until his dad arrived. Mr. Suarez was meant to be there any minute to get Derek. Derek preferred not to sit, instead took long, lazy strides in a circle around the edge of the rug. His hands behind his back and his head angled toward the ceiling, Derek looked like he might be puzzling out a crime. He probably made half a dozen rounds with a solid knock when a solid knock struck your front door. That stopped Derek in his tracks. Dad's here. Then both of you stepped toward the door in unison. You arrived first since you'd had a half-room head start. When you pulled it open a crack, someone zoomed past you. Here we go! Here we go, everybody! Introducing the terror of Step 2, Nicholas! The breakneck flash of a human was indeed still entirely recognizable. It was Derek's littlest brother, Nicholas Suarez. He shouted triumphantly.
Derek!
We're here!
He was only 6, the tiniest kid around. Hot in his heels came the middle son, Juarez's son, Jorge.
Nicholas.
Whoa! I had never heard Jorge's voice before. That's so cool. Nicolas. It's not Nicholas, it's Nicolas. Because they're Hispanic, in case you didn't realize. They're Suarez, right? We have to stay in the car. We're going home. We're not here to play. He was 10 and his patience was being tested. The youngest one was frantically shook his head. It made his hair even messier than it already was. I love the little hair ties, though. I love Nicholas's hair. Anyway, I don't love Nicholas. Nicholas's hair was wild and free as he was. Hair clips in his parents' minivan couldn't contain all that energy. Which might have been surprising considering he loved cars enough to wear a shirt covered in them, but you knew Nicholas loved Derek even more. Staying right where he was inside your house, he, at his even older brother's side, Nicholas gave Derek a hug.
I came to get you.
Yeah, this is... The facial expressions of this child, man, are terrifying. Derek bent down to scoop... He always looks like he's gonna commit a crime, possibly a homicide. Derek bent down to scoop Nicholas into his arms in a fond squeeze, though. He kept his face tilted up to make eye contact with Jorge.
Hey.
Hey, bros. Side by side, Mr. and Mrs. Suarez trailed in, so we get to see Gregario, and I don't remember her name, but we'll get it. Gregario Suarez is a cool name. I like these people, too. They're pretty cool people. The resemblance between the parents and their children was clear. Derek and Jorge were the spitting image of their father. Jorge was even sometimes called Junior, while Nicholas was a mommy's boy. Could see that.
Good evening.
Good evening, Marina.
Hello.
Oh god, I don't want to do a John Rhys Davies impersonation. I figured out that he was lame. He's racist. Hello. You have to forgive the three-ring circus visiting town. The boys just had to come. Hi. Don't worry about that. You're welcome. You didn't know what to say to them. I love seeing the boys. He merely shrugged. Yeah. The frown that had been stuck on Jorge's face finally eased up a little. Oh, how kind.
Goodbye.
But we can't stay. Thank you for letting Derek visit, and tell your mothers I said hello. Okay. Come on, boys. All four of you now. Let's give the Foster family their house back. Coming.
Yes, Mom.
Half the group trotted forward with only a word. They went past Mrs. Suarez and out the door. She watched them go before surveying the situation with the most troublesome one. Nicholas was just bouncing around Derek as if he hadn't even heard his parent. I'm gonna call him Nicholas from now on. Derek and his mom looked over with identical expressions of exhaustion tinged affection. When an opportunity opened up between hops, Derek carefully took hold of Nicholas's small hand. So I was, I wouldn't see much of him if I didn't have the DLC, but the Derek DLCs are all about Nicholas. Let's go to the car, Nico. You can sit next to me. Filled by the premise, Nicholas let out another cheer.
Let's go.
Let's go to the car.
Mrs. Suarez left it there, trusting her eldest, and went to join Mr. Suarez and Jorge. Nicholas gripped Derek's black wristband with his free hand, stretching it outward in an eager attempt to lead his bigger brother along. Derek stumbled forward with a chuckle, mostly to protect his band from being pulled too far rather than Nicholas actually having the strength to move him. But he made sure not to forget you. Derek said his goodbye from over his shoulder. Bye, gal. Bye. Good night. Goodbye, everybody. He waved the group off. He stood there watching them go. Bye. Goodbye, everybody. After their prompt entrance and equally quick exit, the whole Suarez family was on their way home. You, however, didn't have anywhere to go. It was late enough that the rest of the other day would be spent inside your own house. That was a while ago now. Later that night, you found yourself seated near the kitchen counter. Oh, geez, we gotta introduce this character too in this. That's right. I forget about this character because she just kind of disappears later. But we do get to have another friend. Your fingers drummed on the surface as you waited. Your gaze trained on the phone. I think they got a new phone. They certainly did. This is a new phone. This is our updated 2011 phone because we're in 2011 now. You were waiting on a call tonight, specifically from your cousin Leandra. You didn't want to miss it accidentally. Whoa, I missed that the first time, that her full name is Leandra. They just call her Lee. Holy crap, Leandra. Your uncle, aunt, and Lee used to live many hours away. Your families only saw each other a few times a year for big occasions. A while back, though, they'd moved and were closer to you than ever before. You now hung out regularly. Regularly is one of those words I can't say, right? So you're gonna have to excuse me. I'll say regularly. With school being out, you're positive she's gonna want to come over a lot. The two of you were the same age and got along well. She used to be really fond of Lizzie, Elizabeth, too, but now that your sister had become allergic to interacting with her own family, it tended to be just you and Lee who spent time together. Yep, this is exactly how Marina feels. Used to be really fond of Lizzie, but now that she's allergic to interacting with her own family, yep, that's true. She was your only friend who was a girl. Being family helped make you close, but you had a lot of girlfriends. We have a lot of friends in general because you often gravitated towards other girls and befriended them pretty easily. So yeah, we're just friends with everybody because that's Marina Foster. She's friendly. You also had a lot of non-girl friends. Yup. What kind of gender someone was didn't seem to make any difference who you get along with. Then the shrill ringtone announced an incoming call. You jumped before grabbing the receiver and pressing it to your ear. Lee, finally, who is it? Foster Residence, Marina speaking. Hello. Lee, finally.
Hi.
Sorry about the wait, Marina. It took forever to get the phone away from my mom. That's okay.
There was static on the end, as if Lee was shifting wherever she was. See, this is Lee. I love her design. She's great.
So, can you believe school's actually over? I thought it'd never be done. Now we don't have to do any of that boring stuff, and we get to hang out wherever we want. Speaking of hanging out... Lee, can you wait a second? Let me just head to my room.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I love that. You get up from your seat at the counter. Luckily, the phone was wireless, so you didn't have to worry about any cords tying you down. I mean, our phone was wireless when we were younger, too. As I've noticed, anyway. Your mom's had a rule about not moving the phone unless a call was in progress, which was why you'd been sat by its cradle waiting for Lee to call. Your mom's could really be unfair. You thought that made sense. You didn't like it, but it had to be that way. No, this is the kind of child we are. You did not enjoy how strict they were with so many little things. But now that Lee had called, it was okay for you to go upstairs to your bedroom and talk to her. We already established this when Marina's sneaking out in the middle of the night and getting scolded for all the various things she did. You jogged up the stairs, taking two at a time, smiling. Again, let me remind you, when I was this age, I was totally, like, just obedient as heck. Not that I had much opportunity to not be, but, you know. After you had arrived, you shut the bedroom door. Shut the front door, but firmly behind you. You took a seat on your bed.
Alright, I'm here.
Cool.
Hey, did you know the girl down the street from me has her own phone now? A cell phone. She doesn't have to wait for someone else to stop using it or anything.
So this is about the time when cell phones started to happen. I didn't get a cell phone until... Actually, no, wait. Cell phones started to happen way before that. I didn't get a proper cell phone until I was, Oh, no, wait, that's a smartphone. I had a cell phone, but I had a cell phone in college. I had, like, an old Nokia phone, and then I had a BlackBerry for a while. Yeah. When I was in college and stuff. So it would have been... You know, not this age, but it would have been earlier than this. That was the early 2000s. It was like I was in college from like 2004 to 2010, so you know. But anyway, but when you're a kid, you don't get a cell phone until they're 13. Makes a lot of sense to me.
Wow, really?
The thought of someone having a phone that was all their own seemed unbelievable to you. Yeah, that's something else I could very much see the moms not doing. They have pretty strict parenting despite being really friendly and nice.
Right. Wish I had one too, but my parents said I couldn't get my own phone until I'm more grown up. I wish they'd change their mind. We could call each other every single day and no one would be able to stop us. How great would that be?
Really great. But wouldn't I still be using a home phone? Too bad that's so far away. Too bad that's so far away.
I know. I could probably get my own phone without them if I was that old.
She sighed dramatically.
I bet I'm not gonna get one until I'm all the way in college.
Yeah, imagine that. Who do that? Squeezing the phone between your shoulder and your ear, you puffed up the pillows and made yourself more comfy. It was strange to think of a time when normal school would be over and you'd have to choose whether or not to go to college. School was such a big part of your life right now. School didn't come easily to you, though you tried hard. Studying didn't come easily to you, tried hard. You worked about as hard as most people and got pretty average results as well. You never tried much, but you still didn't do too bad. You didn't bother at all in school and your grades reflected that. Everything in your classes came easily to you. You worked hard for your excellent grades. I think Marina would be the kind of person that would put in the effort. Especially because she wants to be in athletic programs and you kind of have to have grades for that. You know it was most important to you. Important, and you wanted to do well. Frustratingly, even though your best didn't seem to be quite ever be good enough. You didn't know how it could be harder. Yeah, I like that. I like the idea of that. Marina's not smart. That was the goal that we were going with here. She's not like an A student. That was never. I don't think she's like the grades are terrible and I don't put any effort in kind of person, though. You felt a lot of pressure to get higher grades than you did last year. You hoped to do just as well this year, but it wouldn't be a big deal if it dropped some. You were confident your grades would remain great. You had no plans on getting excellent scores this time around. Yeah. I think Maria just, I don't know. Is it this one or the no plans? Because, yeah. No, she doesn't care about pressure. It just wasn't something that was all that important to you. Yeah, you tried to sound engaged, but your mind had to decide to go back to school despite the season. Lee knew you too well to be fooled.
What's up?
You sound so spacey. What's up? I'm just thinking about school.
Lee groaned.
Are you thinking about how we don't have to think about it because it's summer? That's what I'm doing.
I'm looking forward to going back. Let's make a petition for more vacation time. It's so awful, I hate going. Come on, it's too scary not to think about it. Let's make a petition for more vacation time. She doesn't hate school because that's where all her friends are, but she's not looking forward to it either.
Yeah.
Everybody in class would sign it. Maybe some of the teachers too. Though, I guess school isn't all the way bad. You can do some good things there. You can do just more when school's out.
It's true. See, that's kind of how we feel. Learning new things can be cool. Gym is pretty great, though. It's the easiest way to hang out with people not in the neighborhood. The cafeteria lunches at my school could be better than they had any right to be. There's nothing good about my school. No, it's the easiest way to hang out with people not in the neighborhood. That's what I had said earlier. If I didn't go to school, I'd never meet anybody new. No one really comes here. Uh-huh. Learning new things can be cool. Gym is pretty great, though. Gym is pretty great, though. There was all sorts of sports stuff during gym.
Oh yeah, it can be fun sometimes.
And that's all. We don't really care that much about the food or the learning. And that's pretty much everything that's good about school.
Okay, point taken.
Alright.
Now I declare the topic of school is officially closed. We have to talk about this summer first before we start plotting the rest of our lives. I've got some plans already. Like, I'm gonna visit my cousins.
You chuckled, of course.
What's something you want to do? The first thing that comes to your head.
I want to spend time with people. I'm getting some more art supplies. Reading. I'm going to catch up on movies and TV. Probably I'll spend some time at the beach. I don't want to do anything at all. It's a vacation. I
could have guessed that one.
You lean back on your bed, settling in as you continue chatting with your friend. Even though it hadn't been that long since you saw her and you'd be seeing her soon, you found plenty to talk about. For one, the events of the day. You sat up straighter.
I was with Cove and Derek today and we met a new kid. Like, your neighborhood?
Mm-hmm. His parents are visiting family, so it sounds like he'll be around for a little while. I don't know how long.
What was he like?
Creepy, mean, weird, kind of creepy. Creepy.
He kept snapping at us when we were all trying to do is talk to him.
It was like no matter what we said, he was gonna find a way to make it the worst of it.
I don't think I want to meet him.
You want a boy to stay away before even meeting him? That's an unexpected twist. Your cousin was pretty popular with the boys who knew her. She seemed happy enough to have them around, until they started to annoy her.
Who are you to talk? Cove and Derek are always around. They're both boys, you know.
That's true. That's not the same. They're not always around. I'm not the one who invites them to show up on their own. You weren't able to say anything to that. That is not the same. Lee laughed at your rejection of the idea, deeply amused. After a moment, you chuckled along with her. There was a stomping noise approaching your room. For the third time today, Elizabeth is mad. Imagine that. This is like her default. Her default mode in this is pissy. There was a stomping noise approaching your room, heralding the arrival of your irritated older sister. She flung open the door, a frown etched on her face.
Come on.
How long are you gonna hold the phone? Hog the phone. Glancing at your watch, you realized that your quick call had gone on much longer than anticipated. Yeah, our quick moment had gone on much longer than anticipated. Elizabeth held out her hand, the other one lodged at her hip. She noticed the realization in your face. Time's up. Gotta go, see you soon, okay? With a sigh, you said your goodbyes to Lee. Sorry for being so long. I'm still using it. No, get out of my room. With a sigh, you said your goodbyes to Lee. Lee, you have to go now.
Bye.
Okay, see you soon. Tell Elizabeth your mom said hi too.
You'd barely pressed the end call button when Elizabeth whisked the handset from your fingers and began dialing someone new as she strode out of the room. Your mom's voice called from downstairs. Big surprise, battery's dead. Hey, has anyone seen the phone? I'm using it. With that, she shut your door behind you. Silence was left in the wake. That was the only way to end your first day of summer break. That was one way to end your first day of summer break. Sometime later, it had gotten dark outside, and you had laid in bed wide awake. Your window rattled all of a sudden, startling you badly. You flinched, staring over it with furrowed brows. From your vantage point, you saw only the moon and an open sky. You were scared, confused, annoyed, curious. Curious! What had caused that noise? Cocking your head, you sat up and moved closer to the window. You wanted to get to the bottom of this. To your utter shock, your gaze was met by a pair of familiar ocean blue eyes. Cove? You squinted. Yep, Cove was right outside your window. Your house is very angular, and some parts stuck out farther than others, so it was theoretically wouldn't be hard to climb around on. Still, just because somebody could didn't mean you expected it ever to happen. And it begins. The adventures of Cove Holden climbing your house. It is something he will do all the time. To his credit, Cove was doing fine. His feet were braced against a section of a wall jutted out, his arms were flexing with the effort to keep him upright. He easily lifted a hand and waved at you from the other side of the glass. You hurriedly opened the window. Cove climbed over the ledge, releasing a breath once he was safely inside. Look at his little compass shirt. This is way better than the stuff he wore as a kid for sleeping.
Hey.
Hey, Marina. What are you doing? What's up, Romeo? This is a surprise, but you're always welcome here. Is everything okay? What happened? You're lucky I didn't start screaming. Amazing, my dreams have come true. You're lucky I didn't start screaming. Sorry for everything. I know it's late, but I didn't know what else to do. I rang the doorbell. I know your moms would have answered, and they'd just make me go home. I didn't really want to explain why I was coming over anyway. I don't want to talk about it. So there's a lot more to this moment, I just realized. Oh my goodness. We still have a whole nother scene to go, so I'm gonna probably break this up. It'll probably already have been broken up, because I'll probably break it up before the Cove bits, so you're gonna be like, yeah, hey, cool, this is Cove and stuff. Actually, I might, I might pause it here and do another bit, so we'll see ya.